Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and I have a little bit of kind of a brain dump again for you today. And the reason I'm doing this is because I kind of have some ideas and I have some things that I think I'm going to be redoing. So they're going to be things that I'm going to be filming and showing you the progress for. So I wanted to talk about a little bit about them and give you some background on what I'm going to be doing. So my one little word for this year is focus. And the reason it is because I tend to not hone in and focus on specific things. I kind of have general goals, but I need to break them down to be more specific because, you know, general things are fine, but if you don't break them down into certain steps, for me anyway, then I just kind of don't think about it that much and then I don't reach my goals. So I chose the word focus for this year. So there's quite a few aspects in my life that I need to be focusing a little bit more and making things more priority and thinking about my priorities and stuff. So the first thing that I want to do is I have a couple of projects that I want to revisit and kind of redo. I have two albums in particular that I'm thinking of, and they're projects that I had started quite a while ago, and then I just kind of let them fall by the wayside, and now I'm picking them up again and going, I don't like that. But I still like the project, so I just want to redo them. They're nothing, I haven't gotten too into them, so it's okay. Like, I have no problem, you know, trashing what I have and starting over. It's not going to take that much time to do. So the first thing is this album. This is an 8x8 album, and this I called it We Are Foodies. And the purpose of this album is to document some really cool restaurants that we've been to, or famous restaurants, and some of the food that we go out and enjoy, like really memorable meals. And we love to go out to nice restaurants and, you know, kind of famous things that have been on TV and stuff like that. That's something that we really enjoy. We like to try new things. So the point of this is to document those special ones, you know, like I'm not going to put, we went to Chili's on Saturday, so I'm not going to put that in here, you know what I mean? It's going to be like we went to Mesa Grill, Bobby Flay's restaurant, so that's going to go in here for sure, you know, because that's a big deal and we don't get to do that very often. So it's going to be the very special things. So I had started this and I have a few things in here, but I don't really like the way that I did it anymore. And so I just kind of want to redo it. Everyone's coming in here. So I'll flip through this real quick just to show you what I had started and what the intention was. And then I'll kind of talk about my new plan. So like I said, this is an 8x8 album. I really actually like this album. I like the design. It's brown and teal. I actually really like, so I'm going to keep the album for sure. I'm just going to use it for something else. Sorry, Layla's in here. I'm trying to make sure she's not going to hit my camera. Okay, so I started it and, you know, I put We Are Foodies, and I have some strips of paper, and I have these cute little food brads. It's actually kind of cute, and I might keep this page and put it on a bigger piece of pattern paper in my new album. I haven't quite decided. I'll probably try that and see how I like it, and if it looks kind of bad or I don't have anything that goes well with it, then I'll just redo it. But I actually don't hate the first page. I think the little food brads are kind of cute. Watch out, baby, don't hit the camera, okay? Thank you. All right, so this is an example. This is the Mesa Grill. We've been to two of his Mesa Grills. We went to one in Vegas, and then we went to one in the Bahamas on our anniversary trip. And, you know, this really doesn't do it justice. You know what I mean? Like, the meal was amazing. I still remember that meal. And this was taken in 2008, and I still remember this meal that we had. So, I'm gonna trash this one. I'm gonna keep this part because this is actually the business card from the restaurant. So I'll see about, even if I have to just cut around, you know, and layer it, whatever, that's fine. So, but I have these pictures still, so I can just reprint them. I'm gonna reprint them bigger. And then the intention of this was to keep track of some of just our favorite restaurants too. Like I have Carrabba's here. Front Porch is a really good breakfast place in my hometown. Citrus is one that's going to get its own page as well, because that's been on Food Network before. And we went there in San Antonio. We went a couple times when we lived there. But I don't think I want to keep all these anymore. And I just grabbed business cards every time we went. But I don't, I don't know. They're good, but they're not like super special. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't think I'm going to keep this aspect of it. I think I'm just going to focus on the big things. Like this is a Todd English restaurant in Disney in Blue Zoo, which is where we went back in, oh gosh, so long before Kaylin was born. I know that. I don't remember exactly what year it was, but before Kaylin was born. And so, and then I have, you know, and I have these little blank spots so I could keep adding business cards. But I don't know, I'm not feeling that anymore. And then we went to the Salt Lick in Austin. It's right outside Austin, Texas. And, you know, but Food Network has been there a few times. And Bobby Flay said this was his favorite, best barbecue he's ever had. And he is not wrong. It was really good. So I'll see if I can keep these parts because these came from pieces from the restaurant as well, like little handouts and stuff. So that's kind of my intention here. And then, okay, this is In-N-Out Burger. I'm not going to redo this one. I'm just going to trash it. I like In-N-Out Burger, but it's not like super special. You know what I mean? So, and that's all I had in there. So I'm going to redo this. I'm going to make it into a 12 by 12 instead because a lot of restaurants I have, you know, multiple pictures that I want to include on there. So if I try to do it too small, I'm not going to be able to fit all the pictures I want. So I'm going to make it a 12 by 12. It's going to be a foodie album. I may see about using this again on the cover page. I'm going to have to just see if that's going to work. And if it honestly doesn't, I have no problem redoing it. Just a minute. Just a minute, okay? So that's my plan for this. I already have some 12 by 12 pages from some restaurants in my other album. So I actually went through and I pulled them out and set them aside. So they're going to just go in there. Layla, please don't do that. Sorry, guys. So they're going to go into my album with everything else. And there's going to be a few things I redo. You know, I'll redo the Bobby Flay, and I'm going to do one, do one for citrus and all that. And then I have some that will already be in there. And I'm going to try to semi-put them in order of when we ate there. I kind of have an idea on the order, at least, you know, from places that we've lived or visited. I know the time frame. So this is gonna be a new project for me this year. So you'll see some of my food stuff coming through. And then when I have it all caught up, I'll do like an album share so you can see all of them. I am speaking. Please be quiet, okay? Thank you. Sorry, guys. The second one is this bad boy. Here, let me zoom out real quick. I did like, this is kind of a bucket list album. Give me just 1 second, guys. I'm going to get her settled real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I just had to get her a little bit more settled. I thought I had before we started, but of course, of course that didn't last very long. Okay, so this album is kind of a bucket list type. I had started making a list of things, you know, like a bucket list, things I want to do before I die. And I started out thinking, I'm going to put 100 things on this list. So I called it my 100 list. Now I'm kind of like, that's a hefty goal. That's kind of, I don't know about that. And then I started adding really easy things that maybe don't necessarily need to be on a bucket list, you know? So I'm rethinking that as well. I think I'm going to redo my bucket list. I'm going to take a few things off probably that aren't super realistic or things that I'm not really either wanting to do or really aspiring to do anymore. So, you know, things change over the years and that's fine. You know, you have to adapt to that and I'm fine with that. So I'm going to go through my list. There's a few things on there that for sure I'm going to keep on, but I am going to redo it. And this is the album that I had actually started recording. I started redoing or documenting. I can't talk. I started documenting when I do things on my list, I would document them. This is a We Are Memory Keepers album. And I like it. It's cute. I don't know these people. I haven't put a picture in there yet. So that's what came with the album. This ended up being a pocket page album. I don't think I'm going to keep it a pocket page album. I think I'd rather do full 12 by 12 layouts for each thing instead. So I'm going to change that up just because I'm not going to have 100 things on it anymore. So I don't feel like I need that much. I don't feel like they need to be condensed that much. I have no problem doing 12 by 12 layouts for each thing anymore. But let me show you real quick where I had started with this. I started out by making this page. And what I did was I have this right here has all the numbers of everything, and then I wrote on the numbers what they were. For this one is own a sports car. And I did. I had a Eclipse, one of the newer ones when they came out in 2006. This one is take a hot air balloon ride. We did that when we lived in California. This one is start a blog, which I did. So I would write, I have these numbers in here. I did 1 through 100. And for what I had, you know, for my list of what I had, I would write each one on a number. And then I have a master list, you know, they're all numbered as well. So when I would accomplish one, I would take the number out here and I would paste it on here. And then I could kind of see it all fill up. But obviously I'm going to trash this. So I liked the idea at the time. I really did. I still kind of like the idea, but I just don't think that's the way I want to go anymore. So that was my opening pages. And then, you know, this one was marry the love of my life. I don't necessarily feel like I need that on here because I don't know. Like, I don't know. I like the page though. And then I would use these tags, and this was number 30 on my list. So, and that was just something I added because I was like, I need some more stuff on my list. Marry the love of my life. We had already been married for a couple years. So, you know, I don't know. It's kind of stuff like that. But I have that as a full page. And then this is where all the pockets come in. So this is a big one. And then, you know, 3 4x6 spots. I don't even know where these came from, honestly, these page protectors. I got them at a scrapbook store a long time ago, before Project Life came out. But I'm not sure who made them. They're a little awkward though. It's hard to get into them. You have to get, like, this is one page and you have to get into them through the middle. So it's kind of weird. I don't know. I don't really like them that much. Maybe I've just been spoiled by Becky Higgins because everything was so easy. But like number 36 was take a picture at the Golden Gate Bridge, which we did. So I have all this stuff, and I don't know. And I spread them out here. So I don't know. Oh, there's my tattoo. That's my tramp stamp. I have a tramp stamp. Josh actually designed that for me. It means princess in Chinese. Yes, I looked it up before I went and got it, but he drew it for me. But that's all I have in here. So it's not really something that I've spent a ton. Brody is hitting my camera. Brody, out. Speaking of Brody, he's in here making noise and hitting my camera. Who does he think he is? Okay, so I have no problem kind of scrapping this idea of it and redoing it. I kind of hate to throw this one away though. I don't know if I'm gonna keep. I don't know if I'm going to keep that or not. It's also very simple. I mean, I guess I could easily add to it. Okay, I'm getting off track. Anyway, I'll have to think about that one. So I'm going to rethink this. I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep this album and use this album, but it's just going to be like, I'll probably do the opening page, the first one, be like a master list of everything that I have. So I'll really go through and think about what it is I want to accomplish and things I really want to do and keep on my list, and try to keep it realistic and attainable. And so I'll probably just have the first page be like that. So everything on my list. And then as I do things, I'll just make a page about them. And I don't need to number them and all that stuff. I don't need to get that technical into it. So that is my plan for those 2 projects that I'm going to redo, kind of revamp them, and make them into something that I'm going to enjoy more now versus the way I had them quite a few years ago. I'm talking probably 6 or 7 years ago is when I started both of these. So, also for this year, for my focus word, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one thing a month that I'm going to focus on. And this is part of using my supplies, which is one of my goals this year. I want to use more from my stash. I want to use what I have. I will be buying things. Obviously, I get monthly kits, so I'll be getting those. But as far as buying things on my own, I'm really trying not to, because my husband is getting ready to buy a car here probably sometime over the summer, and we're really trying to save money so that we can make a good down payment for that. And we're paying down a lot of our debt so that we can get a better interest rate on the loan. So that's really where our priority is right now. So aside from my kits, I'm not really buying that much. I'll maybe buy 1 or 2 things a month from Hobby Lobby, if even. So that's really been encouraging me to use what I have. And so to go along with that, to break that down into more manageable, you know, to actually start reaching that goal, I'm going to pick one thing a month to focus on. So this month for January, I'm going to focus on these projects here and kind of revamping them and figuring out what I want to do. And I'm also going to think about some other things that are kind of brewing in my mind and kind of start making some plans for them. And I am also going to start making a list of things that I can focus on each month. So 2 things popped up in my mind immediately, which was paper pads. I have tons of paper pads, like the 6x6, and I have 12x12. I have 10, 11, 12x12 paper pads, like the big thick ones. That is an insane amount of paper, not to mention all my loose stuff. So I could easily make 1 month focus on paper pads. So every single layout I make, I use either a 12x12 or 6x6 or both. Or when I get my monthly kits, I can take a paper pad that's going to coordinate with that and add it in and use it along with those kits and things like that. So I'd like to make a really big dent in my paper pad stash. So I can use 1 month to focus on those. Another month, I'd like to start focusing on mixed media a little bit more. I have modeling paste, I have gelatos, I have mist, I have gesso. So I have stuff that I want to try to experiment with a little bit, and I haven't really touched that much. I've used my gelatos a couple times, but not nearly enough, you know, to really get into it and get comfortable with it. So I'll take 1 month and focus on that, you know, just try to do a little bit of mixed media on most of my layouts for a month. What else could I focus on? Project life cards. I have tons of project life cards. I could start, you know, saying I'm going to use at least 1 project life card on every single layout that I do. You know, just try to make, I don't even know if that'll make a dent, to be honest with you. That's how many I have. But we'll see. And collections. I have, I think, at least 2 Amy Tangerine complete collections that I got, like when Crafty Steals does their full collections for super cheap. I tend to buy those. And so I have at least 2 Amy Tan ones that I know for sure. So I could take a month and say, I'm going to work with this collection until I've used a good amount of it, you know, to the point where I can break it up into my stash and I don't need to keep it all together anymore. So that's kind of where I'm thinking, where this year is going to be going for me. So this month, I'm going to focus on these 2 projects and making plans for them. I'm going to be brainstorming some other things that I can think about throughout the year. And then I'm also going to start making a list of monthly things that I can concentrate on to start working through my stash. Okay, so sorry for the brain dump. I hope you're still with me. If you are, thank you. Sorry about the 3-year-old interruption there. That's what I get for trying to record while she's home, but I'm impatient and I can't get this stuff out of my head until I have it like said out loud. Okay, so those are my plans. If you guys have any questions for me, let me know and I will answer them as best I can. And I will be back in real soon with some more layouts for you. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you real soon. Bye.